Move over. Just wait.
Hello, everybody.
Happy New Year!
Give us a thumbs up if you can see us. We'll just wait and see if we are definitely live this time.
Yeah, if you'd seen our previous lives, they don't quite often go to plan. So fingers crossed we've learned our lesson and it should go smoothly.
Yes, fingers crossed. So yeah, if you can see and hear us, please give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, just to let us know that we are live.
And you can hear us.
Fingers crossed you can.
Yay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Hope you've all had an incredible festive period. We are really appreciative of all of the support everybody's given us over the last year. And yeah, we've had a really busy Christmas. Hopefully you've all enjoyed as well.
Yes, it has flown by though, hasn't it? I can't believe we're already a week into January. It's gone. So yeah, you are back to work Monday, aren't you?
So we've got Tony G. Hello, Tom and Dom. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Tony. And thank you for joining us. Cruising Gaze, thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, great. We've got some thumbs up as well there, which is great to see. Thank you, April, for doing that. That's brilliant. Jane, yes, you can hear us. Fantastic. Thank you. Sarah was on a cruise was on the cruise before you on Aurora. Was a dreadful experience. Well, that's interesting to hear. We definitely heard a lot of the rumours about what happened on the cruise before, and the biggest rumour is the weather, really, that it seems like it was awful for you on that ship. And when we got on, well, we didn't have the best experience either, but it wasn't weather related for us.
No, a number of passengers that were on that Christmas cruise also stayed on for New Year's. And as you can imagine, they were quite eager to sort of express their experience and their thoughts on the previous cruise. So yeah, it doesn't sound as if it was that great.
No, so tell us in the comments what your experiences were. Was it the weather? Was it your cabin? Was it a mixture of both? Which it seems like it was for some people. So let us know.
Elaine, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you for joining us. Ant and Andy, evening to you as well. Daniel, nice to see you, Dan. Hope you're well. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, we met Dan on a cruise. Oh gosh, when was that now? That was Princess.
Enchanted
Princess. Yeah, that seems like a while ago now. Yes. Michael, hi from Mike and Louise. Hi, Mike and Louise. Lovely to see you both.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Alan. That's great to see you there. Who else have we got here?
Bogey, Benny.
Not the easy ones to say. Hello, though, anyway. I think he's put hello, Tom and Tom. So I think it's all just focused on me. So you might as well leave now.
I'll go now.
Question. Let's go for a couple of questions then, shall we?
Yeah, if you do have a question, it just makes it really easy for us to sort of spot it and pick it out. If you do start your question with the word question in capital letters. So we really appreciate that.
Okay, let's have a look then. So Ant and Andy, question. How did you find a small ship in comparison compared to the larger ships you have been on so far? Is this your favourite ship? Smaller ships. So smaller ships are great. For us, we like the amount of passengers that are on board and how friendly they are, the conversations we pick up. You seem to get to know most people on the ship when it's a smaller ship, so they are certainly friendly. And I think the service is probably a little bit better as well.
I think, yeah, because obviously it's smaller ship, less passengers, the crew get to sort of know you, especially if you sort of frequent the same sort of bars and venues on board. Another thing that we really do love about a smaller ship is the fact that you can sort of navigate your way around very, very easily. After a couple of days, you sort of know where you're going. Whereas on sort of larger ships that you haven't been on before, you know, you can be on there a week and still not know where you're going.
Yeah, I think on Aurora that we were just on, I think it's probably until the second day when we got on there, and then we were, we haven't been in the lift yet. And we're like, these lifts are nice. So yeah, it's a smaller ships are better. However, probably the downside for us is sometimes on a smaller ship, the entertainment is a little bit more subdued. and there's not as many options in entertainment, or the same with restaurants. But that's not to say the quality of the food wasn't as good. It's just that there's not as much choice.
So what would you prefer, smaller or larger ship? In my opinion, I prefer sort of a mid-sized ship.
So you've gone in the middle.
I have gone in the middle with about 3,500 passengers.
Okay, that's
I think
fair.
that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's about right. I think when we went on Island Princess over the summer, I think that was about right for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, Island Princess was brilliant because there was lots going on.
Lots going on.
And you didn't feel as if you were sort of missing out on anything. It was a good sized ship actually, and beautiful. Really did enjoy Island Princess. Yeah. If you haven't caught up on our Island Princess vlogs, they're available on our channel. Shameless little plug there.
Yeah, our Island Princess vlogs are currently releasing at the moment, and in our latest vlog we are back in itinerary in Northern Iceland, and we get to visit a wonderful thermal lagoon, which is little known by passengers. It's mostly used by crew and locals. So check that out if you want to find out a little bit more about that.
So thank you, Aunt Nandy, for your question. I'm just going to unpin the message and then we'll scroll and find some more.
Okay, so Sarah's answering the question we asked about her cruise on Aurora. The weather mainly. Itinerary seemed to take preference over safety. Dreadful hygiene on the boat. Cabins flooded, leaks, power cuts. Oh my gosh, it sounds like you had an absolutely awful experience then.
We've got to admit, we did see a lot of leaks.
There was a lot of leaks on Aurora. There were.
I've never seen so many of those portable dryers on a cruise ship before, because there was areas where the carpet was wet and they'd sort of, you know, to be fair, the crew worked very, very hard to sort of clean up any leaks as soon as they appeared.
Yeah.
One issue in particular was Carmen's was closed due to the flooding on the previous cruise, and it opened 2 days into our cruise, and we went down and it looked absolutely amazing. We went down then the following day, and there was a bucket and a cordoned off area because another leak had appeared.
Yeah, a lot of it was taped off, wasn't it? So, and that was the theme really across the ship. There seemed to be a lot of leaks. The itinerary wise, well, for us, our itinerary was probably one port is all we had. So I think I don't know whether they got the message from that cruise then that they weren't stopping at many ports, because for us Bruges was cancelled, so we only had Hamburg for 1 day,
which was a little bit disappointing because it was sort of advertised as an overnight stay. Yeah, we did stay until 6 a.m. the following morning, but we sort of shot off straight away, so we didn't really have that day as well to go and explore Hamburg.
No, well, by the time we woke up, we were leaving, so definitely no chance. Okay, Sisters on the Seas. Oh, here they are, our traveling companions. They follow us everywhere we go.
They did book this cruise before we did.
Oh, they'd like us to say that. They did. We did. Okay, just thought we'd say a quick hello both of you, and before you head off somewhere, different football matches. How dare you prioritise football over us? We shan't be talking to you any further.
Lucy's mum, Happy New Year, Tom and Dom. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to yourself. Aurora was my first P&O ship I cruised on 10 years ago.
Oh, it'd be interesting, June, to see what it's like, what it was like 10 years ago to what you think it looks like now in our vlog. So when we pop those out, please let us know what you think the differences are. That would be interesting. One of the differences we do know that would have been is that where our cabin was would not have been there on your cruise, because it would have been the kids club. So and our cabin was a nightmare. We'll tell you more about that later on.
Hi both, interested in your experience as we're on the New Year cruise, our first on Aurora too. Oh, you were on it. So Jonathan, thank you for joining us.
So the cruise itself probably didn't start off the best, because we did embarkation, and due to some of the problems that we've already spoken about on the previous cruise, we were delayed boarding. So it meant we were, luckily for us, we were sat in the terminal, in the Mayflower terminal in Southampton. Other passengers were left waiting outside. We were there for about 2 hours, even though we had arrived just before our embarkation time, which was 12:30. We arrived about 12:15. And we were put in a queue outside, and we stayed in that queue till about 1 o'clock. And then we entered the terminal, and we got to sit and wait in the terminal till we boarded about 2:30. all in all, we didn't receive much communication at all. We did ask a couple of members of staff. So the guy that we were waiting with outside, the member of staff there, who said, "Oh, you can go in at 12:30 because that's your embarkation time." And when that came and went, he wasn't sure what was happening or why it had been paused. And then when we got into the terminal, we did ask at the desk when we were checking in, and they weren't sure as well. So it did start off with a bit of lack of communication. But overall, when we're on board Aurora, despite the leaks, I think she is a lovely ship. The size is great. The decor is actually much more modern than I thought. Yes, there was some flooded carpets, but I think the carpets and the decor that we did see was actually quite modern and well kept. So for being an older ship, like June said earlier, 10 years ago she was on it, I think she looked particularly good.
Yeah, we were lucky during the embarkation because, yeah, we did arrive around about half an hour before our embarkation time of 12:30. We did have to stand outside for maybe half an hour, but then during the whole the rest of the sort of embarkation process, we were sat in the terminal.
Yeah,
we were completely oblivious to what was going on, as was everybody else in there. But for us, embarkation wasn't too bad. We didn't have to stand and wait.
No.
In terms of the ship, you know, we really did like the ship, the decor. We were expecting it to be a little bit shoddy in places, but it was actually really quite nicely.
There were the odd places that were a little bit perhaps warm, but nothing that we hadn't seen on other ships before, either of a similar age. So nothing terrible at all, nothing that would put us off going on. The only thing is those leaks. The entertainment on board was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty consistent.
Although there was one incident on New Year's Eve, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty good. Right, what else have we got here then?
So, ditto, we found the same. We are interested in Princess. Question, I both interested. So Daniel Sparks.
Yeah, question. Has your Aurora P&O put you off future P&O cruises? P&O are often the first choice of cruise lines, so interested to know what happened and would you go again?
Would we sail with P&O again?
Yes. And would we go to Aurora again? Probably. I'd probably say yes, but we'd be very, very careful what cabin we chose. The only two major problems that we had was cabin, which was assigned by P&O. So we booked a saver fare, meaning that P&O assigned our cabin, and we were probably assigned the worst cabin on the ship. We were just above Carmen's at the aft of the ship.
So to put it in perspective, these cabins were sort of put in, and the kids' cub was removed from this section, and they added, P&O added some new cabins a couple of years ago to Aurora. Now, we booked a sea view saver cabin. So as you can imagine, we were expecting a sea view. We didn't book a sort of obstructed view or anything like that. And then when we arrived, went in, it did have a window, but the view was over the aft terrace of the ship.
Yeah, so all we saw was people actually coming to look into our cabin window quite often, because it is that slightly tinted glass, but as soon as you put the light on in our cabin, you can see straight in. So that was quite a draw. So we had quite a few times where people were like this up against our window, having a little look in at us. So after the first day, we kind of got fed up with that. So we kept the curtains closed.
And it wasn't just people looking into the cabin. We could see everything that everybody was doing outside. Now, even though we were sailing in December, there was still a lot of passengers that were sort of making full use of the two jacuzzis and the heated pool at the aft of the ship. And they'd sort of get changed and dressed into their swimwear outside our window.
Yeah, so very, very weird, really. And then the second thing is, obviously, we were above Carmen's, like we said, and once Carmen's had reopened on the second day, the noise was horrific, to be honest with you. It went on from about 9 a.m. all the way through till well after midnight, didn't it? There was something going on all the time, and we could hear everything that was said word for word. So not a great cabin location. Yes, we did report all of this to reception straight away. Day one, we went to reception about the view. Day two, we went to reception about the noise in Carmen's. And the response we had was horrific, really, because the first guy we spoke to just said, it's not P&O's problem, speak to your travel agent. At which point we said, but we're on board and we're not happy with the cabin that was allocated by P&O because we booked a saver fare, and he just basically said to us, please leave reception. It's your travel agent's problem. We don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, he was incredibly rude. We've never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah.
And it did actually quite upset us.
It did. We went back then to report the noise on Commons on the second day. They said to us, we'll look into it and we'll contact you. And then nobody contacted us. So we went on the third day, same response. The fourth day, same response. And then just before we got off on the night before we disembarked, we had a chat with one of the managers on board just to let them know everything that had gone on. And basically they said there's nothing they could do really. The cabin you've got is the cabin you've got. There's no cabins available on the ship, which we know was incorrect because we know other people who had been given new cabins. I think basically they just wanted to fob us off and get rid of us. So never mind. These things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So next question, Bogey Benny, Ben, I can't say it. Question, how does this ship Aurora compare with Azura? I travelled on Azura in November and really enjoyed it, but she did look a little bit tired in places.
Now, for us, we really had a good time on Azura. So we did Azura back in February of last year now, and had an amazing week, didn't we?
Really enjoyed it.
She's set up as a sunshine type ship. She was a sunshine ship before Arvia was. Well, I had to think about that. And I think she worked really well. We really enjoyed that size ship. Again, pretty mid-sized ship now. It had lots of facilities. The entertainment was pretty good.
Yeah. I think it's quite hard to compare the two because obviously Azura is a family ship where Aurora is adult only. Yeah. And, you know, the clientele of Aurora is obviously a little bit older than Azura. So in terms of sort of the activities and events, perhaps on Azura, they were a little bit more, I suppose, energetic. I don't want to use the word energetic, but there was just a lot more sort of flair and, you know, dances and routines and things like that.
Yeah,
and we found on Aurora.
On Azura, we felt like we were a bit more involved with the team on board and the crew. So on Aurora, we didn't really interact very much with the entertainments team. No. We never met the entertainments manager until the fourth night.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't actually meet her. We saw her on stage. She first made herself appear on the fourth night, as far as we've seen. Somebody might tell us different. We never saw the captain. No. We never saw any senior officers. We never really felt involved in anything that was going on. There was no sail away party, no welcome drinks, nothing like that. So yeah, it was quite separate to our Azura experience where we had all of that. We had fantastic sail away party. The team were about the ship all the time. Yeah, completely opposite really. Completely so we did really like Azura. Yeah, it was looking a bit tired again, older ship, but I don't think that would put us off.
No, and Aurora is a lot more laid back. And if it hadn't have been for the fact that we just didn't get any sleep, not through any fault of our own, due to sort of not being able to use our cabin from 9:30 till midnight, it would have been quite a nice, relaxing cruise. But by the end of our time on Aurora, we were just desperate for sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here then.
So let me unpin that.
Where are we?
We are here. So Pete N.E. Hello, Tom and Dom. Happy New Year. Do you rate P&O? We are going on Iona next week and would love to know your thoughts.
Well.
Do I rate?
Do you know what? The thing is with P&O is we have to look at cost. And P&O is a lower cost cruise. I was going to say cheap, but it's definitely not cheap. No,
it's not cheap.
But it's a lower cost cruise compared to other cruise lines.
Yeah.
So yes, it is good value for money. I think the food was pretty good. For example, if you go to a specialty restaurant, the upcharge on a specialty restaurant is pretty minimal compared to some other cruise lines.
So on Princess, you're looking at around $40, $45 for a specialty experience. And on Aurora, we did the beach house and the glass house, which neither of us have, ever sort of done. And I think each of them, for the two of us, didn't come over £30.
Yeah.
It was incredible value.
So it is good value for money, I think. In terms of Iona, we don't know because we haven't been on Iona yet. but Arvia we have. So
Yeah.
I think Arvia was a pretty good ship in terms of what's on board.
Yeah, you'll find with P&O passengers that sort of cruised with them a long time, that P&O have cut back, and they have, even since we've started cruising with them over the last 12 months. We've noticed like little differences, like Onboard Aurora. And if you watch our Aurora vlogs, you will hear me go on about it for so many times. But in the main restaurant during the evening, instead of putting out a butter dish, they literally just scrape it onto your plate now. So they've taken away the butter dishes from from your evening meal in the main dining room, and they just scrape it on your plate, which I think is just terrible.
Yeah, they don't trust you enough to do it from a butter dish yourself now, so that's gone in way.
It's just little things like that. And obviously people that have sailed with P&O for a long time, who we did, we had lovely conversations with Ken Goes Cruising, Ken and Lindsay, who've been sailing with P&O for a long time, sailing with Sisters on the Seas. They've done over 20 cruises with P&O, and they're perfect in terms of saying exactly what P&O sort of removed. But they've removed it so they can lower the price and sort of make cruising more accessible for everybody. So I suppose it sort of swings and roundabouts, really.
Yeah, the passenger demographics I think are changing on P&O, definitely. Okay, let's have a look then. So
Sweet Natured.
Hi, Sweet Natured. Lovely
Nice
to see you both.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So holidays at sea, Holly at sea.
Hi, Holly. Hi, lovely to see you here.
Cruising Gaze question: is the Aurora onboard experience and service different to the newer and larger P&O ships? We want to try Aurora, but the P&O horror stories are putting us off booking.
Well, the one big difference is that Aurora is adults only. So if that appeals to you, then it is a good choice. It is more sedate than some of the bigger P&O ships.
Lots of dancing activities. They have crafts on board. There also choir and singing practice, which you don't necessarily see on Arvia or Iona.
Yeah. In fact, it's very similar experience to Ambassador. Very, very similar being on that ship to what Ambassador offer, really, isn't it? So it's similar, but it is a different experience to particularly Arvia.
Yeah.
Very different. Horror stories, but I don't think. Yes, there are some horror stories, but I'd still say give it a go.
Yeah, we always say this. Everybody's cruise experience is different. We could have 100 people all go on the same cruise, and every one of them could come off with a slightly different sort of experience, and some will enjoy it and some will dislike it. So cruising is a very unique experience. Obviously, when we do our vlogs, we always just talk about our experience, how we've sort of interacted and how the ship is how we've sort of done everything on board. And that can be completely different to other people that are on the cruise ship at exactly the same time as us.
Well, our biggest issue obviously was with the cabin and our problems with reception. So if someone was in a different part of the ship, I'm sure it was lovely. So.
Gavin Naylor question: all bloggers want us to join Patreon. Tell me about the advantages. Thank you, Gavin.
Go for it, Dom. I'll give you the start.
So Patreon is a way of supporting content creators like myself and Tom. We've recently joined Patreon, and we offer a number of tiers, all with different sort of exclusive benefits. We've named them after the food venues you find on cruise ships, because I think a lot of people associate us with food, which, you can't blame them. One of the main reasons we go on cruises is because we do enjoy good food.
Yeah.
And with each tier, you get a number of exclusive benefits, like you'll be first to hear of our next and upcoming cruises. You'll receive exclusive postcards and Christmas cards and video messages from ourselves. And there's also a dedicated chat through Patreon where you can get hold of us.
So, for example, our patrons already knew about the problems we had on the ship prior to us talking about them on here. We gave them a brief update, and they also are aware of our next cruises that we are going on. Which is great. So they get to have a little preview of where we are going next. which might answer some of the questions in the comments, really, because they already know some of the answers. So you just get to know us a little bit better. You get some one-to-one videos where we'll record short messages while we're on our cruises, just to update you on what's going on. And you get a little information, some little snippets that everyone else doesn't get to see.
And it really does sort of help us out. And we really do appreciate every single one of our Patreons.
Okay.
Emily Thwaite. Me and my hubby and parents were on the same cruise as you both. The cruise was a disaster for us too. Apart from the issues, we hope you both had the best time seeing in the new year.
No, I think we've had this quite a few times. There, people telling us they've had similar disastrous experiences. Unfortunately, when we went on Aurora thinking it was going to be the most loved ship in the fleet, and that's what a lot of people told us. Unfortunately, our cruise didn't reflect that. But talking about New Year itself, Hamburg, the fireworks were spectacular.
Incredible. They started going off around about 11:30, and they didn't stop until 2 a.m.
No.
I've never seen anything like it.
So the way it was, we were docked in a port, part of the port that we'd never docked in before.
Not the main one, because MSC Virtuosa was there, and that's where we docked when we were on MSC Virtuosa as well, and that's the one that's like 45 minutes away from the town centre. Because Aurora's smaller, she can get right up close to this other port. So we docked with the aft view into
Hamburg city centre itself, and the fireworks were spectacular. They had set up a party at the aft of the ship on what we shall now call our private terrace with 2 hot tubs and a swimming pool that was directly located outside our room. So yeah, we had a party outside our room all night, which is fab. We didn't mind it that night too because we were there. Yeah, we were invited. So it was great. The views were spectacular. The entertainment, the countdown was great. And then the entertainment moved inside after that, didn't it?
Yeah, because it was very, very cold. We were everybody out there was wrapped up, big thick coats and hats, as you can imagine. Hamburg in December, January time, absolutely freezing. It was incredibly busy, and the bar was 3-4 deep on the terrace bar. However, there was so many staff. They sort of moved all of the staff from all the other venues of the ship into this one small bar. Just trying to sort of keep up with demand, and they didn't do too badly.
No. Okay, right. Next question. From Daniel. We have this week been offered the opportunity to bid for an upgrade on our Easter cruise. Is this something you have done? Think it's worthwhile? We already have a balcony cabin.
Depends where you're going.
Depends where you're going. Depends on the price. Yeah. The two things. So. It's up to you. If you're going on somewhere that is quite scenic, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, then yes, I probably would go for the upgrade. But I wouldn't it all depends on how much it is. But if you are going perhaps Canaries or somewhere that every port looks very similar, I think you'll be fine in a balcony, really.
For myself and Tom, going from, say, a balcony to a suite just would not be worth it for us at all.
No, we don't spend
any time in the cabin, really, apart from sort of sleeping, perhaps napping in the afternoon and getting changed and then going out.
Yeah.
So for us, we wouldn't necessarily have a balcony or upgrade from, say, an inside or an outside to a balcony. Yeah. In sort of Northern Europe, especially during the winter months, because A, it's cold, and B, they're pretty much all industrial ports, so you're not really getting much sort of scenery. So yeah, we're a little bit, I suppose, hesitant in terms of upgrading, and absolutely 100% it would have to sort of come down to costs. Yeah. Have we ever done an upgrade bid? Yeah. Well, for our next cruise, we have actually bid for an upgrade. We'll have to wait, I think, maybe 2 weeks before the cruise departs to see whether or not we've been upgraded.
Yeah, but just on the price issue, we put in the minimum bid.
Oh yeah.
So when we wouldn't be willing to pay any more than that, really, because we don't feel like it would be worth it.
No.
I hope that answers your question. Okay, so we seem to have quite a lot of love hearts going on.
Thank you.
Which
Oh,
is,
if you're enjoying
my-
this live, please hit the like button. It really does help us out and sort of tells YouTube that you like us.
Yeah, that is the best way. So please, guys, yeah, if you get a chance, please hit that like button. That really does help. And putting the comments and questions into the chat also helps. So thank you very much. So Michael John Dennis, Happy New Year from Manchester, UK. Happy New Year to you. You are both looking and sounding gorgeous. Well, that's thank you so much for that. Ben and David are not impressed with that sheep either. That's interesting to know. Well, I'm so glad that it's not just us, because it doesn't sound like we're moaning.
No.
It's just us, then, is it? Yeah. So that's great to hear.
Question: have you been on the French cruise ship up to the North Pole? But I'd love to give it a go.
French cruise ship, are you talking Ponant? It might be CFC, but Ponant, I presume. No, but it is definitely on our list. So after doing our Greenland cruise and obviously going right up north that way, we'd like to go right up to as far as we can up to the top of Norway, although that was the cruise that Aurora did, I think, previous to us. So I think it has to be on the right ship, and I think hopefully a Ponant ship would be the right one to go. Yeah,
Greenland obviously gave us a beautiful little taster for these well, I would say unexplored destination, but for these unique destinations. And we'd love to sort of get out there and explore a bit more of the world. Cruising gives you a great opportunity just to explore some truly beautiful sites.
Yeah.
And we're open to anything.
But even closer to home, cruising has meant that this year we've been able to visit all 4 nations of the UK, which I don't think we would ever have done if we weren't for cruising. So yeah, even close to home, cruising has offered us a chance to do things that we would never have done in the year. Okay, next question from Michael. Our next 2 cruises are on Arvia. Our biggest ship so far has been Britannia. Okay. Will Arvia be a shock to the system after Aurora? After Aurora, yes. From Britannia, no, probably no. It's the next step up from Britannia, really. It's got some of the things that you like and love from Britannia. Limelight, but bigger, better, improved. Arvia, I presume you're on a warmer cruise with Arvia, so you've got the swim-up bar at the back.
Yeah, beautiful.
You've got climbing frames if you're into all that type of thing, like the high ropes. And the venues are beautiful. Yeah. All the venues are beautiful. But from Aurora,
completely different.
If you're happy to go with plenty of kids, there's probably going to be a lot of kids on board. Although the kids clubs are fantastic, we're lucky to have a tour of those, and they've got fantastic facilities. So they do keep the kids busy. The indoor pool, like the retractable roof, is interesting. I don't think it's the greatest use of space. It could probably have done with more sunbed space, really, if you want a hotter cruise, because I think that even though it's the biggest ship in the P&O fleet, there's still sunbed wars. That is
some horror stories coming out of the Caribbean this season.
Yeah, other than the flights, obviously.
Yeah. In terms of Arvia, though, what I particularly liked was the fact that there was just so much entertainment going on all across the ship. And it wasn't the case of sort of a singer starting at, say, 1, finishing at 1:30, and then, in another venue, something else happening. It was just everything happening all at the same time. So it was really good to sort of go to one, have a little taster, and then go to another, have a little. There's just so much to do.
Yeah.
So much to do. I don't think you could do it, try and enjoy. If you're going on a week's cruise, don't sort of stress about missing things out, because there is a lot to see and do on those larger ships.
But gone are some of the traditional activities. Like on Aurora, there was dancing all the time. No dancing on no ballroom dancing type thing on Arvia.
What was missing from Aurora, what we haven't actually mentioned, was the fact that there was no afternoon tea in the main dining room.
Yeah, we didn't, even though we had all but one
sea day.
We didn't have one afternoon tea, which we were really sad about, because on a traditional ship like Aurora, we would have liked an afternoon tea. Arvia doesn't have afternoon tea, apart from in the buffet and in Epicurean, which is a paid-for experience. Okay, question. What part of the UK are you from? Well, we are both currently sat in
Sunny Wales.
in West Wales, yes. Although originally I'm from the Midlands and Dom is from Pembrokeshire.
So not too well.
You haven't come too
I
far,
haven't come very far.
but
at
you
all.
did come kind of via Southampton.
Yes.
So
we would. Oh,
we've jumped.
Frasier's too as well.
No, down.
Sorry, this one. Tom and Dom are always down.
Oh, sorry, guys. There we go.
There we go. Question: would you go on any Irish cruises?
On any Irish cruises? So, do you mean cruising around Ireland? Because I don't know of an Irish cruise ship.
We have been to Belfast and Cove.
Well, Belfast is Northern Ireland. Cove we've been to in Southern Ireland. So yes, I'd like to do the full circumnavigation of Ireland itself. That would be quite a nice, because I think there'll be some ports, again, like we spoke about the UK, that we'd never think of going to and never experience unless we did that cruise.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Lucy's mum's just getting back to us regarding her time on Aurora. She may have had families when I was on, and I like the smaller ship like Fred Olsen's and Ambassador.
I don't mind kids. Okay, that's interesting, June. Great, because I think you were Ambassador, June.
No.
An Ambassador not long ago. So
question, would you go on it? We've done that one. P&O are good value. We've done Royal Caribbean as well as P&O. Service was better on other lines. However,
yeah, on US based lines particularly, we found service has been much better. Yeah, much better.
Even than but then, well, Costa was good as well. I was going to say all US lines do amazing service. MSC, not particularly great on board.
Yeah, our Costa experience and our P&O experience in terms of drinks package was quite interesting. P&O obviously are quite strict with their drinks package, 15-minute limit, 1 drink per person per card.
Finishes on the day, so you can't use it on your disembarkation day.
Where on Costa it was, you have what you want, and basically they say, do you want to try this drink or do you want to try that drink? Order your drink and try this one as well to go with it.
Yeah, so, here's 3. Enjoy.
Have them all. So, completely different drinks package experiences. Costa was fantastic for that.
Question, do you have any tips for a transatlantic from Barbados to Southampton? So this is from Gavin.
So I think if you're going to go from Barbados to Southampton, you're doing it the right way round in terms of
gaining an hour.
Well, a few times you gain an hour. So the time-wise, you're getting longer on the ship than going the other way. So that's a great one. Are you happy with sea days? Would be something else to think about.
Because there's a lot of sea days on that.
Yeah. So although the entertainment should be pretty good on board, we haven't been on... I was going to say it, Britannia, we didn't say that. We haven't been on other Barbados to Southampton transatlantic ourselves. But I think time-wise, it'd be good. Positives, though, would be that you get to see some great places. Obviously, you're going to do, I would presume, Canaries maybe, or Madeira
on the way back.
On the route. Yeah. So there's some good things there. Time-wise, you're doing it a better way. So yeah, that's it really.
In terms of tips, because we haven't really done a transatlantic like that, we could say about the sea days bring there should be plenty of entertainment on. Depends on sort of the cruise line that you're going to sort of sail with.
Yeah.
Question, Irish cruises, you do question, would you go? Yeah, Lucy Mum.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your answer, guys. Thank you. No worries, Pete. Thank you. Holidays at sea. Question, specialty dining restaurants are amazing prices on P&O. Yes, they are. Do you have a favourite specialty restaurant on P&O? Oh, see, now I know what I'm going to say straight away.
I know what you're going to say straight away as well.
What am I going to say?
Beach House.
No.
Oh, you're not going to say Beach House? What are you going to say then?
I'm going to say Sindhu. Do you know what? I was just on our it was on our last evening. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And I still think about that.
We do like an Indian speciality, and few cruises other than British Cruise Lines do them. So Ambassador does one as well, doesn't it?
However, close second is definitely the Beach House on Aurora, because that was wow. I had the fillet salt steak where you cook it yourself.
Yeah.
It is a surcharge of £7, in addition to the £15 that we paid to sort of make the reservation before we went. But it was delicious, and there was so much food.
Yeah, really nice. I had the ribs that time we went, and the ribs were great as well. So Beach House is good. We did Glass House, and that disappointed us a little bit.
Yeah,
Perhaps we should have gone when it was the steak, and we opted for the chicken.
we had the chicken shearer for 2.
Yeah,
and it was just a little bit dry, a
It
little
was
bit
a little bit-
underwhelming.
a little bit basic.
Mm.
A bit basic, but it was fine.
Cheap.
It was cheap. Yeah, cheap.
25 quid
yeah,
for the
value,
2 of us.
value, yeah. And then we did Epicurean, didn't we? Which is obviously P&O's tops restaurant. The food was great.
Yeah,
the food was great. Our service in there wasn't great.
No.
But the food wasn't bad.
I'd go again.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only one left now is sort of Keel and Cow, which you've promised me we're going to do on my birthday on our next cruise.
Oh, you've kind of revealed it now.
I am revealing that.
Yeah.
And the vegan one on
yeah,
one day.
Yeah.
No plans to go on it just yet, though.
Okay, who else we got? Oh, Fraser. Hello, Fraser.
Oh,
nice
hello,
to
Fraser.
See you. You are not late at all, so do not worry. It's really nice to see you here.
Oh, questions from Michael. Would you do a river cruise?
We are considering a river cruise, and we do have something potentially lined up. We are thinking, yes, we're going to try and do one this year.
Yeah,
is the answer to that.
And if you want to hear the latest updates, we're available on Patreon.
But it's not finalised yet. So, but we are hoping to do a river cruise this year. Yes, we would really like to do one. We understand it's a completely different experience to an ocean cruise, which is why we want to try it.
So, Fraser, hello. Just been time. Good to watch.
Not over the top. Thank you. I like
we do
it
try.
Not over the top.
We do try just to be ourselves.
Thank you, Pete.
Andy, I think it's so slow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andy, did you lose him? I'm getting on that ship in a month. How many free dining restaurants are there? So that's Zed Charlie. If you're referring to Aurora,
I'm getting on that ship this month. How many free dining restaurants do you get? If you're referring to Aurora, it's just your standard main dining room.
And the buffet. As well as the grill.
As well as the poolside grill. If you're referring to Arvia, there's a completely different kettle of fish. You've got the main dining room. You've got the Keys. You've got Olive Grove. You've got Sixth Street Diner. You've got the grill. Did I already say buffet?
No. Horizon
the buffet.
Lots of free dining venues.
Lots of options on Arvia.
We've got a video on our channel covering all the dining venues.
Yeah, and we've got the menus on there as well.
I'm
doing dry January.
We're trying to.
So, do you know what? We tried dry January.
We literally put the tiniest amount in.
So perhaps we're doing cutting down January rather than dry, but we are really trying to be good. So we're perhaps just going for weekends only. Yeah. Chris, I believe the travel market is changing where hotels, cruise lines are holding back better rooms, staterooms for customers purchasing directly through them as upgrade perks. Completely agree with this, Chris. I think you're spot on. Because most cruise lines now, as we've been saying before, want you to bid for upgrades and want you to
spend more money
with them. Yeah, spend more money. I think the better rooms are held back. So that could explain why we ended up in the cabin we did.
But that, for Christmas and New Year cruises, you do pay a premium. Our Arvia last year was still our most expensive cruise to date.
Yeah.
This is Aurora cruise we did was incredibly expensive for 5 nights as well. If you're regular viewers to our channel, you'll know that we kind of sort of settle in around about £100 a day.
Yeah.
Obviously, with New Year's and Christmas, that blows everything out the window, and you have to pay the premium. So obviously, we paid premium. We could have gone for an inside, but we didn't.
No, we wanted to have a window, but
a sea view.
A sea view, but that backfired a little bit, didn't it? So, question: would you ever do ferry reviews? Well, I never say never, because we did see that Emma did some quite interesting ferries. The interesting thing is where Dom's parents live in Pembroke, there is a ferry that leaves directly from there to island, Irish ferry. So maybe we could just jump on that and see what happened.
I did it many times in my youth.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not I'd be able to cope with the 12 hours straight.
Perhaps
No
we give it a
sleep.
go. That might be make an interesting thing to talk about. So
To a sponsored.
we'll never say never. So we might give a ferry a go. Who knows?
Question. I've been on Iona and Azura so far, but I'm going on Ambassador Ambience in August. Will I have a similar experience with things like activities and food?
I think you're going to Iona. No, it's not going to be like Iona at all. Azura, you're coming more closer.
Yeah.
To the Ambassador experience. So the reason why I say that is obviously Iona is vast compared to size, and the facilities are much bigger. The entertainment on board, however, will rival P&O in any way on any ship.
Yes,
the entertainment on board is fantastic. The showcast,
quizzes,
amazing. Lots of bingo,
discos, live music,
silent discos. They have all that, given that it's a much smaller cruise line, much smaller ship.
Again, it doesn't matter. There's always something going on Ambassador.
Always something going on.
It is brilliant.
Very good. The showcast, as I said, is spectacular. They have also something that P&O don't do, is they have actors on board, and they do full plays, and they do what they call little vignettes, which is short 5-10 minute pop-up plays in different venues. So there is something different there that does set them apart. And the drinks package is good if you want to opt for that.
Yes.
If not, the prices are similar to P&O, in which they're pub style London prices. Yeah. So they are pretty similar in some ways.
But
what you will get with Ambassador like P&O is that British cruise experience.
Thanks both for a great answer from Michael
Louise.
No worries. I personally don't like fast ferries from Holyhead to Dublin.
Never done one. No, we haven't done Holyhead to Dublin, have we? Question.
Alex. Question.
Go on.
I'm traveling around the Med in July with my partner, who is a wheelchair user. Would you recommend the soft drinks package and Wi-Fi on board? So if you're going for this is a tricky one. If you're going for, it's going to be a P&O. Is it? Is it P&O?
I would have thought so. P&O. If you're traveling around the Med, I don't think it's desperately needed. All depends on the
Wi-Fi now.
Yeah, the amount.
Are you talking about Wi-Fi or drinks? Because they're Wi-Fi question.
I'm saying about the amount of ports you have. If you've got a contract on your phone that you can use in ports every day, I don't think it's worth it just to have it the evenings. If you want to port a cruise that's sea day intensive, then maybe it might be worth it. It all depends on how important staying connected is to you. On our last cruise on Aurora, as we were literally mostly at sea, we ended up being disconnected, and it was quite nice not to be connected. So I'm posting our updates this week in a bit of a time delay instead. You've got to think that the onboard Wi-Fi on cruise ships is expensive. Yeah. It doesn't matter what cruise line you're going on. Yes, Princess do package it with their drinks package and their gratuities, which is fantastic value, really, for what you get. But most other cruise lines, it is really, really expensive. Yeah. So if that's why we didn't do it. We thought we were going to have one sea day, 2 days in Hamburg, one in Bruges, and then we were home. So we thought we're not going to pay for it. No. That sort of nipped us in the bud, really. Soft drinks package. Do you think we should have that? Once again, it depends how much you drink. Free tea and coffee are available in the buffet as well as water. Yeah. So, and there's juices at breakfast as well. So if they would be enough for you, then no. If you like to drink fizzy drinks, sodas, often, so you need to buy, I think it's three. I think the soft drink package is £10 per day. So in order to get your money back, you'd need to drink at least 3 soft drinks a day. Yeah, which some people can easily do. Yeah. So it all depends on what your habits are. So if you think you're going to make the most of those drinks packages, then go for it. If you don't, then don't. Okay, we feel that Marella has amazing service, definitely better than P&O. We do like a Marella cruise. We've done 2 Marella cruises, Explorer and Explorer 2, and they were both good. They were very, very good. We have really tried to actually get back on Yeah.
Morella cruise, but unfortunately, due to time constraints, basically me and my holidays, because they're set during sort of half terms, and Morella always sort of go on a Monday or
they always go midweek to midweek, which makes things a little bit difficult to us. Otherwise, we would have probably been on Morella by now. David Webb, Sindhu is good. Never had a poor meal there. Service always attentive. PS, please give this like a thumbs up. Yes, exactly. Thank you, David. And we're glad you've woken up.
Question/answer. Been on Morella to Barbados from Malaga as a repositioning cruise, and this April flying to Barbados, then cruising back to Turkey via Antigua, St. Lucia, Canaries, Gibraltar, Malta, and Corfu. Well, that sounds absolutely brilliant.
Well, that's amazing, because my parents wanted to do that cruise, and unfortunately they can't. So they're going
to be very jealous.
Very jealous of you on that exact cruise. Yeah. Question.
So, school grades for Aurora cabin, excluding and including location and customer service issues. Oh, so this is, so what would we sort of, so Phil, that's a very good question. Now, the cabin was brand new, pretty much.
Yes. So as we said, these cabins have been newly installed and replacing the kids club, so they are new. So inside the cabin is
beautiful,
really well appointed. Aircon was great. No problem. Location was probably the worst grade we could give it. Yeah, probably the worst
cabin we've ever stayed in.
Worst cabin we've ever stayed in, worst on the ship. So school grade, I don't know. What is the worst?
A U.
Yeah.
Wouldn't, we've because we've filmed our review of the cabin and on board, we've said if anybody ever gets allocated any one of those cabins along the row we are, you just fight.
Say no.
Just, it's
please,
not worth it.
Before you even get on the ship, change it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Ant and Andy, hello to you both. Question: on our budget list, we have Alaska. On our bucket list, sorry, we have Alaska. As you have done Island Princess, that is showing now. We've
already booked our 2023 cruises and also Svalbard. Where do you have on your bucket list?
So on our
so many
bucket list,
so many. I want to do New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah,
that's yeah.
I'd quite like to do somewhere in the South Pacific. We'd like to do that. Bit of South America that picks up Antarctica, so going from Ushuaia or Montevideo, somewhere like that. I'd like to do a river cruise on the Nile. That's on my bucket list. So yeah, probably we say the list is getting bigger, not shorter, as we're cruising more. And I think that Island Princess Greenland cruise has only made it longer, hasn't it? Because we've seen that places that we thought perhaps would be a little bit isolated actually are much more interesting than the usual ports.
So no, cruising is very, very addictive. Very addictive. We've only been doing it now for just over 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's been an incredible journey. Thank you to all of you for your support.
Okay, Michael Cartwright, question: have you used MSC, and if so, does it deserve the bad press that it gets in some cruising circles?
No. MSC.
Yes, we've done Virtuosa and Preziosa with MSC.
MSC is fantastic value for money.
Yeah,
fantastic value for money. In terms of the food, we love the food on board, because we do love pasta, we do love pizza. And all things like that, and the quality of it was fantastic.
The thing about MSC is they often do short cruises at low price, which makes them
stag.
I don't want to say like party cruises, but busy cruises. So that means the bars and the staff and everything is in demand, and it's those cruises that get the bad rap. I think when we did our longer cruise on Preziosa, we never really encountered any of those problems, did we?
It was, so you do have to go to the bar and grab yourself a drink. We didn't find any of the issues where we could never sort of get a seat in any of the venues. No. The staff were always brilliant, but they did work incredibly hard. Now the problem with sort of MSC cruise ships is they sort of pick up and drop off at every port. So if you want, you could have been on our 7-night Preziosa cruise, but you could have gone on there for 2 nights and just made your own way back to your home port.
So I think they are less the passengers are less friendly because obviously it's mixed languages.
Languages.
You're on different cruises, different itineraries, so it's hard to meet people and mix it together, isn't it?
But does it deserve the bad press? I don't think it does.
No, not always.
No. Right, what have we got? Question I've used it. What is your favourite cruise line and cruise experience?
Easy to answer. Favourite cruise experience is our current one that is available on our YouTube now. Is our Iceland and Greenland cruise on Island Princess. No question about that. No. I don't think it just
it was just something completely out of the box.
When we got to Greenland, it blew our mind sailing past these huge icebergs and things. So yeah, amazing.
Favourite cruise line?
Very, very difficult.
They're all different.
It all depends what mood we're in, what we want from a cruise. Princess is great all-rounder for us. We would often go back to Princess as our...
We would. It's definitely our go-to.
Our go-to.
We were only talking about it earlier. You know, their plus package is fantastic value, even though it has sort of increased in price. It is still
good value
when you compare it to other cruise lines.
Ambassador was great.
Oh yeah, really enjoyed Ambassador.
Great. Yeah,
I'd do them again.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't been on a cruise. Well, this Aurora cruise was probably the worst cruise we've been on, but that's only because we were just so miserable and tired.
Yeah, and that was our cabin, not the cruise itself. No, so that put us off. Okie dokie.
Question: will you or have you cruised with NCL?
No, we haven't cruised with NCL yet. We'd love to cruise with Norwegian. We stopped next to Norwegian Viva or Prima earlier this year, and we thought, wow, it looks crazy on there because the music was absolutely booming out the ship.
And that was just sort of at the gangway to disembark and embark in Akureyri.
Yeah.
It was incredible, really sort of good atmosphere.
But it is on our list of a ship. Not so easy to get to out the UK, so it does mean flying, which does add extra time on our cruise for us. But other than that, we would absolutely love to try NCL. Question: what is the first thing you do when you get on a ship? In all honesty, the first thing that we do
is we go to the cabin and we film the cabin tour.
Yeah, that's a boring
as much
answer,
as we want to go and explore, we want to grab a drink, we want to do X, Y, and Z, we will literally go, because it's the best time to film it, because everything is as you would find it if you were going in there.
Yeah.
You don't see any of our toiletries or our clothes in the wardrobe.
No.
It's just clean and fresh.
So it gives you that excitement of what you would see when you walked into the cabin first time. So yeah, we always do the cabin tour first.
As much as we don't want to.
Maybe we might squeeze in muster before that.
Yeah.
But no, and then the drinks then come in.
And then we go exploring and grab something to eat and things like that.
Boring answer, sorry.
Boring answer, sorry. Chris PMW, should you have used your Tier D travels card during your cruise to hopefully get that service? I hear cruise lines do not want to alienate. You see, now we don't like doing this.
No, the funny thing is we never mentioned that we were vloggers. We have a vlog or anything to reception at any point. The only thing they could have noticed that we did have our Tom and Dom hoodies on embarkation day, but other than that, we never went to reception once and said,
"Do you know who we are?
Do you know we're vloggers or anything like that?" So we just kept it as if we were normal passengers. Made our usual,
makes it more authentic.
Yeah,
because as the channel has got increase, as we've increased the number of subscribers, we do get recognized a whole lot more, which we do love, and we love it when people come and talk to us and say hello.
But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, because we are very near 7,000 subscribers, so we would like to get there ASAP. So if you can help us out by hitting subscribe, that would be great.
So yeah, we wouldn't sort of throw around the fact that we're cruise vloggers and this is what we do. No.
Okay, question. First of all, hi, all aboard the cruise life. Hi guys, all the best for 2024. Thank you very much. That's lovely. Have you cruised with Cunard or intend to? Yes and yes.
We'll leave it there. Join our Patreon to find out more. No.
So we have a Cunard booked.
We do.
That's all we'll say about that. But we have been on Queen Mary too. So that was one of our first cruises that we did, which we were lucky enough to experience Cunard.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Before we were doing vlogging.
I'm really looking forward to the food, because I still to this day, it was around about, well, it needed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I still rave about the food and the service on Cunard. It was phenomenal.
So let's hope it's still the same. And we did love the afternoon tea experience.
Yes,
we
it was
did love that.
Very good.
Yeah.
All aboard. Hi guys, best. Thank you ever so much. And to you. Have you cruised with? Yes, we have. Happy belated New Year. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank
Lucy's.
you. Yeah.
Thanks you for your reviews in 20. Thank you, Simon. Really appreciate it. What is the highlight cruise for 2024? Green. It'd have to be green.
No, that's 23.
Oh, highlight. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Oh, goodness.
We don't know yet.
No, we've got a couple of things in the pipeline.
We've got a couple of things that we'd like to make our highlight cruise, is the answer to that, isn't it?
There is, yeah.
So let's see if they happen. So it's in a bit of a up in the air at the moment. Yeah. Emily Lewis. Hello, Emily. Hello from Lily and Olivia. Now, Lily and Olivia have our nieces, sorry, and they have featured on our Instagram. They came on Sky Princess with us, so you might have seen them before. So, hi, Lily and Olivia.
And we got Pete then. We have been on both Norwegian Star and Epic and can tell you that they are excellent. The Star was an older ship, but was immaculate and very modern looking, and the choice of food was amazing.
Fantastic.
And I like the Norwegian sort of ethos with they're included. So you pay an additional, what is it, £109? You get it.
Yeah,
which is amazing value. Well, we've come to the end.
So our final plea is to please subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button right now if you haven't already. That would be very beneficial to us.
Thank you again for every single one of your support over the last year. We have had an incredible time, and we really, really do value your questions, your views, your likes, your comments. All of that really does, we really appreciate it.
It does make a difference to us, and so thank you very much. We have a new vlog coming out on Monday. This is our Island Princess. We're still in Iceland, but we are in Isafjorda this time. So see what we get up to there. We go on an excursion, which is quite interesting.
Thank you all for joining us on a Saturday night, and we hope you've enjoyed and enjoy the rest of your evening.
So cheers to you all.
Cheers.
And see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.